They say you have to be mad to be a goalkeeper. Well, I say you have to be mad to be a YouTube presenter who tries to compile a list of the 7 greatest goalkeepers of all time, given the barrage of abuse that's bound to come my way in the comments. Anyway, here by popular demand, yes, that's you guys, these are our 7 greatest goalkeepers of all time. Oliver Kahn. Throughout his career, Oliver Kahn was a fine goalkeeper, but at his peak, he was something else. And his peak, you would have to say, was the 2002 World Cup. Germany really weren't anything special at that tournament, but the heroics of their number 1 dragged them into a final, where it took a masterclass by one of the greatest players to have ever graced a football pitch to finally put a brace past Kahn and break German hearts. A goalkeeper who liked to dominate his penalty area, strikers probably missed a hatful of chances against Kahn because they saw him bearing down on them and themselves before even getting a shot off. For those who did manage to get a shot off, 9 times out of 10, the German psycho would get a hand to it and simply bat it away. All in all, a top goalkeeper. Dino Zoff. Italian legend Dino Zoff was pretty special between the sticks. The former Napoli stopper is the oldest man to have ever won a World Cup, having done so age 40. He was also the first goalkeeper to captain his country to World Cup glory, and he was ranked 3rd by IFFHS in their list of the greatest goalkeepers of all time. At club level, Zoff's greatest success came with Juventus, where he won 6 Serie A titles. In 2003, he was selected by Italy as their greatest player of the last 50 years, and he was a Ballon d'Or runner-up in 1973. Iker Casillas. He may not have aged quite as well as others like Zoff, but at his peak, Iker Casillas was a phenomenal goalkeeper. The most successful goalkeeper of all time, Casillas has won 5 La Liga titles, 2 Copa del Reys, 4 Spanish Super Cups, 3 Champions Leagues, 2 UEFA Super Cups, 1 FIFA Club World Cup, 1 Intercontinental Cup, 1 World Cup, and 2 European Championships. I hope you got all that because I'm not repeating it. He is the only goalkeeper to captain a team to win the Champions League, World Cup, and European Championships, with Didier Deschamps and Franz Beckenbauer being the only outfield players to have achieved that feat as well. He is Real Madrid's 2nd all-time appearance holder, behind Raul, but he transferred to Porto in 2015, moving away from Real for the first time in his career. He was named IFFHS Best Goalkeeper in the World for 5 consecutive seasons, the most of any player in history, and has won 167 caps for Spain, making him the most capped player in the country's history. Peter Schmeichel. Widely regarded as the Premier League's greatest goalkeeper, Peter Schmeichel was an absolute titan in goal for Manchester United and one of the key factors behind their incredible success throughout the 1990s. One of the greatest Scandinavian footballers of all time, the Dane is regarded by some as Sir Alex's best piece of business at Old Trafford. He won 5 Premier League titles, 3 FA Cups, 4 Charity Shields, 1 League Cup, 1 Champions League and 1 Super Cup at Manchester United, in addition to the trophies he won at Brøndby Sporting and Aston Villa. He's also Denmark's most capped player of all time, with 129 caps. As with Kahn though, Schmeichel possibly reached his peak at a major tournament, when a string of stunning performances saw Denmark record a shock win at Euro 92. Gianluigi Buffon. Aged 39 but still among the greatest goalkeepers on the planet, Gigi Buffon is one of the finest keepers to have ever lived. Not only has Buffon had longevity and consistency, but he has done so at the very highest level throughout his career, which spans more than 2 decades. Combining intelligence with agility, Buffon is the all-round goalkeeper, and he's the only goalkeeper to have been named as UEFA Club Footballer of the Year. Buffon became the most expensive goalkeeper in history when he joined Juventus in 2001, but 16 years later, it's fair to say Juve got something of a bargain. He has been Italy's number 1 for 20 consecutive seasons, and has won 173 caps for his country, a record for a European player. Buffon has won 22 trophies to date, including Serie A, the UEFA Cup, and the World Cup. Buffon has stated that he will retire at the end of this season unless Juventus win the Champions League. Gordon Banks. Britain's greatest ever goalkeeper and almost the world's, Gordon Banks was the best goalkeeper on the planet for roughly a decade. Quick, agile, and not only able to reach the ball, but more often than not hold on to it or palm it out of the way of danger, the majority of Banks' club career came with Leicester City and Stoke City. His most famous performance came against Brazil in the 1970 World Cup, when his save of Pele's header became known as the save of the century. Banks helped England to their only World Cup win in 1966, in which he was named goalkeeper of the tournament, and he was named FIFA World Goalkeeper of the Year on 6 occasions. Lev Yashin. The greatest goalkeeper of all time is almost certainly Lev Yashin. The Moscow-born goalkeeper spent his entire 20-year career at Dynamo Moscow, where he won 5 league titles. An imposing figure who looked, and indeed was, incredibly difficult to beat, Yashin was best known for his athleticism and his reflexes. He is considered Russia's greatest ever player and is the only goalkeeper in history to have won the Ballon d'Or, which he did in 1963. In 812 career games, Yashin kept 270 clean sheets and saved 151 penalties, which is more than any other goalkeeper. As well as winning the Ballon d'Or, Yashin was nominated on 4 more occasions. He won 78 caps for the Soviet Union, inspiring them to their best ever World Cup performance when they finished 4th in 1966. As well as being a wonderful goalkeeper, Yashin was also a tremendous innovator, who revolutionised the way in which the position was played. His positional play, sweeping abilities and distribution were all unprecedented, or unheard of in Europe at least, yet they were commonplace by the time he hung up his boots in 1970. So that's it for our top 7. Honourable mentions, and there are a lot of them, can be found in the video description below. Let us know if there are any other positions you want us to look at in the comments. Thanks for watching, give us a like if you enjoyed the video, and don't forget to subscribe to HITC Sevens.